Hi Strong Mom Society, this is your legs challenge. So we are going to take a side lying leg series and it's going to be about 2 songs on each side. So if you're curating your own playlist, pick 4 of your favorite songs. We're going to do 2 on the right, 2 on the left. And we are going to work all of the muscles of the adductors, the abductors, the hips, the glutes, glute med, glute max, all of those supportive pelvic muscles that we need during pregnancy and postpartum to keep ourselves moving, really mobile, fluid, staying strong. So I want you to start down on whichever side you want to start with first. One leg is going to go down on the ground, one is going to be up. And if you are syncing your playlist, head to the link at the bottom of this video and I will count you off in 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're synced. Okay, so we're going to come all the way down. And I want you to make a pillow underneath your head with your arm versus coming up here. This puts a little crook in the back of your neck, puts a little bit of strain on the shoulder. And the important thing here is that we focus on working the legs, hips, and glutes. So I want you to take all the strain out of the upper body. Set that diaphragmatic breath. Inhale, fill your ribs and belly. Exhale. Take a little bit of a core breathing belly pump. If you're still working on the breath, don't worry about the pelvic floor or that deep wrap yet. If you've got it, go ahead and think of the pelvic floor closing, lifting, hugging, or zipping up the front of the abdominal wall as you exhale. We're going to start with a straight leg lift. So extend that top leg, flex out the foot, and we're going to lift and lower. Now, if you have any kind of pelvic pain, pelvic girdle pain, SI joint, anything, you're going to play with your range of motion and you're going to only take this into a range of motion that feels good and stable. That means you're not going to flip your leg all the way up here. You're always working with your own range of motion, not trying to overdo it. And if your foot starts to get crampy, you get a Charlie horse anywhere, just let that leg or that foot go a little floppy and relax here. Now, as you take this lift and this lower, you're trying to stay connected with your breath. And I'm feeling a lot from my inner knee, the inside of my knee, all the way up into the pelvic floor. Those adductors, they bring your legs back together. We're going to take 2 more here. And then what you're going to do is come to that mid-level. You're going to go from mid to high, mid to high. Now, if you're wondering about the breath here, you can do a belly pump on every single rep, or you can do a little bit of a core hold as you take a few repetitions. The most important thing here is that you don't start to breathe up into your upper chest and shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take from mid to low now. This is going to feel like a nice stretch down the outside of that hip. Again, just stay connected to the breath. Don't worry about in and out with every single rep. It's a lot to think about, especially when that leg starts to feel a little bit of burn. 4 counts. 4, 3, 2. You're going to pull that knee in, kick it low, in, kick it high. And I just like to keep a hand on the belly here because that keeps me connected. That's like a nice little reminder that I should be using that diaphragmatic breath. I'm going to take 3 more. 2, 1. Last one high. We're going to curl that knee into your chest. Kick it out behind you. You're going to feel a little bit of activation if you think of your glute and that little bit of shelf right there between your thigh and your glute. That's what I want you to squeeze on as you kick that leg back behind you. Keep those hips stacked nice and vertical. I am going to bring you up onto your forearms in just a second, but for now we're working on keeping the pelvis really stable and stacked. And you'll find that that extension behind that angle as you kick your leg back is a lot easier to get into when you hug your core muscles close to you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to keep that leg back. I'm going to point the toe and I'm going to bring myself up onto my forearms. So this arm is just going to either come to the ground, or if it doesn't reach with that twist, maybe because of a belly, maybe because of early postpartum, just bring it here and you're just going to lift and lower. So again, you're either here in a nice spinal twist, hugging those abs up and in. Think of pulling your belly button up underneath your rib cage, shoulders down your back. Don't get into this crunch here. We're going to take 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and one more here. Pull it in, and then I want you to reach it out. So everything comes in together and out. My toes are going from a pointed position into flexion. Pull up out of that supportive shoulder so you're not crunching down. And find your breath. We're gonna take 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate so you're down on both forearms. Hips are up. You're gonna extend that same leg that was just working straight up into the air and give me a little pulse. Pointing the toe, trying to keep the hips even so this one's not flipped open. Both hip bones are facing directly towards the ground. And give me 8 more counts here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. One more exercise. We'll take a little bit of a rainbow shape, up and over. Stay connected to your breath. Try to keep the tension out of the shoulders. Find that fire between the bottom of the shoulder blades, that scapular activation. 2 more. And last one, good. Sit yourself back in child's pose, extend those arms, take a few belly breaths here. And then we are gonna transition over to the other side. So we are gonna bring ourselves down to the other hip, other leg. Again, make a pillow in the crook of your elbow. Curl that bottom leg under for support, extend that top leg, and we're gonna lift up and down. Bring a hand to the belly if that helps you connect to that diaphragmatic breath. And I want you to just visualize that connection from the inner knee all the way up, inner thigh, into that side of the pelvic floor. Energy out that heel. Unless you've got any cramping in your foot, then you're just gonna let that foot go nice and floppy. 8 counts. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. From that mid-level, you're gonna lift it up and down. This is a really tiny range of motion here. So you're stopping that leg, using all those muscles in the hips, adductors, to keep that nice and controlled. Keep the tension out of your shoulders. Bring that top shoulder down. 2 more. And then go from that mid-level down. Feel that little stretch on the outside of the hip here. Connect to the breath. 8 counts. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're gonna take that leg, you're gonna pull it in, press it out. In, up and high. In, low. In, high. Take a look at that top shoulder, or just visualize that shoulder pressing down away from your ear. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna pull that leg in, knee in, kick that leg behind you. Again, set that connection to the breath. You're trying to keep those hips nice and stacked. So top hip is right on top of the bottom hip. As you take that leg behind you, you're wrapping and scooping up the front of the core. We're gonna come up to those forearms in just a second. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. You're gonna keep that leg behind you. You're gonna prop yourself up onto that forearm. This arm is either forward, so you're rotated in a spinal twist, or you're a little more open. Point that toe and take those little pulses up. Lift and lower. Lift up out of that supportive shoulder, because as you get tired, you're gonna wanna sink down into that more and more. So just imagine that you've got to scoop up the underside of this body. 4 counts. 3, 2, you're gonna pull that knee in and reach away. Point your toe as you come in, flex the foot, extend the arm. Lift up out of that supportive shoulder. We're gonna take 6 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Use that belly breath to transition up onto your forearms. Hips are facing directly forward, down to the floor. Open up the chest, pull the shoulders down. That working leg goes straight up into the air, and you're just gonna pulse out here. Little lift, lower, lift, lower. The hardest thing here is keeping those shoulders out of your ears. So I want you to find that fire between the bottom of the shoulder blades, right through the bra line. Some people refer to that area as your chicken wings. So pull your chicken wings down and then just visualizing them slightly coming together. We're gonna take 8 more counts here. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5. We're gonna head into that rainbow shape next in 2 and 1. So keeping those hips stable. You're lifting up and over. That supportive leg that you're on, the knee that's down, you're really gonna feel that in the outside of that hip right now. It's doing a ton of work to keep your body nice and stable here. As well as your obliques, your core. Reconnect to that breath, pull those shoulders down. We're almost there. You're gonna take 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Sit yourself back. Extend those arms into that child's pose. Nice deep breaths here. Feel the belly drop down to the ground. Exhale. I want you to sit your hips over to the left, walk your hands over to the right. Breathe into the left side of your rib cage. And then you're gonna walk over to the other side. Sit your hips over to the right, walk your hands over to the left. Breathe into the right side of the rib cage. And then we're gonna take 1 more stretch. I'm gonna bring the soles of my feet together, sit up nice and tall, and bring yourself forward, drop the head down, chin to the chest. Apply a little bit of pressure down into the sides of your legs, and just think of opening and relaxing the pelvic floor. This is a lot of work on the legs, so if you want to hit either that seated leg series or the standing leg series and the platform, I will give you the links for that below. If you have a few extra minutes, take those stretches. And great job today.